Oh my God. Oh my God. Friends, how are you doing? The quarterlies are out. Bears, get out of here. Get out of here. What are you doing? Let's all dance. We're dancing. We're dancing. It feels good. It feels good. Oh man. Palantir can't hit $1 billion. Palantir's not gonna hit $1 billion. That's all I've seen. I'm like, what? Man, if you're still saying that, this video's not for you. Listen, we are excited. Be excited. This is a great day for investors. Whether you've been here, 6 days, 6 months, a few years now with Palantir. This is a huge day. Why is this a huge day? This is a huge day because we just hit $1 billion. We hit $1 billion here with Palantir. This is amazing. So, where do we start? I'm going to talk about Big Bear a little bit, but mostly the day is going to Palantir here. And obviously, Big Bear had a great day. And we're going to talk about that because there's a lot of news coming up with that. And I think Big Bear potentially could have a really good week here from what we're seeing. But Palantir, 48%, the biggest quarterly we've ever seen on top of quarterlies. It grew 48%. And Alex talked today, he was, just saying great things about what's happening. So it's done. We have hit a little over. It's actually just a smidge over, but it's $1 billion quarterly. We're just going to call it that to make everyone understand happy what's going on. So I'm going to use some stuff that I've already used. I kind of tweaked it a little bit here, but I made a video over the weekend, like I was still out of town when I made it, but I kept some things here because, the road to $500 here with Palantir is becoming more clear. Obviously, I've been thinking that Palantir is going to $500. I haven't been making it like public, but definitely we're going to $500 as we continue into this realm and these busting over these huge walls right now with Palantir. The question is when. Now, obviously, I think obviously we're going to $200 here with Palantir by the end of the year as we keep up with this progression. We're probably about to see another landslide of just shares, everything with Palantir to be bought up again because of what's going on. So 2026, I don't know that we'll get to $500 by then. Something really massive would have to really push into Palantir even more at this point. Where we're at is fantastic, but really within this, we're more than halfway done with the year at this point. Something's really going to pick up for us to get to 500. I don't think that's quite. I don't want to say never. I've been proven many times wrong, proven wrong in the stock market many times, which is usually great. But 2027, obviously, I think that's very possible. We will be in a $500 range. 2028, who knows where we're going to be by that time. So, the great situation of what this is right now, the analysts, the forecasters, they're already just pushing what the third quarterly is going to be. So we're already now talking about the third quarterly here with Palantir. We're talking about $1 billion. 0.083, and that's just what they're estimating. So Palantir is obviously still in a very much great position to beat that quarterly as well. So this is why going into this chart here that I made, but I kind of tweaked here. Oh my God. The road to $500 is becoming more clear here. Okay, and $500 probably could, this could be just but a little bit of where we're headed here in the next handful of years. This is why, people are talking about Palantir going into $1 trillion market cap. In the future, short-term future, we're talking about stock splits. There's a lot of heavy conversation going on right now with, the bears are really, they've been drowned at this point. They're not really around. It's hard to find. Obviously they're still around because I'm seeing comments, but it's getting harder out there for the bears to really push against Palantir right now. It just is, and God, I love them, but there's still people being negative about it. But since Q3 from 2024, Palantir was at 725 million. Q4 2024 we were jumped all the way to 827 million, and then Q1 of 2025 here to start off the year, we busted right up into 883 million. This is why I said over the weekend, do not be surprised to see Palantir come out with this $1 billion quarterly, because look how much we're growing on top of each quarterly. We knew the percentile was going to be in the 40% range. Now obviously it was almost 50%, so it took that little extra that we needed to get into $1 billion range, and it did it. So now Q2 for 2025 here has turned into $1 billion quarterly, and Palantir has jumped trying to get to 170. It's at an all-time high right now, trying to get to 170 here even after hours. I mean, it's still fluctuating here. Yeah, I mean, it's selling off a little bit, but I mean, the high after hours was 169.05 from what I'm seeing right now. Or actually 108, that's what it hit, that's what I'm seeing. But it's still pushing here a little bit, so, who knows what's going to happen the rest of this week. Now, obviously, I live in the real world. People are going to take profit. People are going to readjust. But, too, with that, people, don't be shocked to see Palantir really push up into, this 170. It starts to chip away at 180 here, probably within weeks. I really think that's very possible because, I mean, this is a situation where Palantir is just, it's too good to be true. And, it's just too good to be true. So moving into this little bit of staircase right now, like I said, as we venture off into Q3 here, and of course we're already talking about Q3. I mean, we've been talking about Q2, so let's just start talking about Q3. Palantir obviously is going to be in $1 billion range. Why? And for people going like, well, why do you know it's going to be $1 billion? How can it be another $1 billion? Well, it can be another $1 billion because just based off Q1, before we get to Q2, there was a lot of deals wrapped up in there. Now, once again, we're in that same conversation, but even more so on a steroid level, because Palantir, now that we have seen Q2, now, and I talked about this over the weekend, where Palantir has entered into this realm of this, kind of, I don't want to say bidding war. It's more or less like where this administration is going to use them and place them. And we're talking about billions of dollars over the next, they said, 10 years. And it doesn't even, and here's the thing for people going like, well, what about when Trump goes out of office? Listen, Palantir's been here before Trump was in office, and they'll be here even after Trump's out of office. Two, with these contracts is the key word here with Palantir. These contracts that they get, they're lasting for years. They'll last even after the Trump administration here. So if Palantir continues to execute what they do with their software, it's not like a new administration is going to come in and say like, hey, we don't want that. They're going to want it, and they're going to need it, because Palantir is so specific of what it does and how good it is right now. This is why it's a money print machine right now, why it's growing so fast and so rapidly right now. So, this is a key moment for people to go like, well, have I missed the boat? I know there's a lot of people saying that, have I missed the boat? And I think this is a key moment for you to go like, no, I think there's a lot more on the table. I mean, man, people were saying that back in January about NVIDIA. They were saying that about Apple. Look at what those stocks have done just in this 8-month time zone. I mean, crazy gains just right there. So Palantir is still being a very youthful, a company that just hit $1 billion quarterly, for God's sakes. Of course, there's more on the table. Of course, we have so much more to come. You have to understand that not only are people having to pay for these quarterlies, but they're paying for Palantir making these aggressive quarterlies, this aggressive place it finds itself in the stock market, where hype, FOMO has all set in, where you're going to see more ETFs. Palantir's going to go into more ETFs. It's going to be placed in in more conversations with bigger firms, where they're going to be buying it up. This is going to get even more crazy. I really do believe that. I mean, 100%. We've entered into an age right now of software stocks, tech stocks, however you want to break it down here to, make you understand it, that we're going into a new realm of earning with companies. We're seeing, just a hyper fixated focus stock market on certain elements in the market. And it right now, it is tech stocks, 100%. So Palantir has still all of this ground that it can cover right now with the market, with investors, and still make investors a lot of money at the end of the day. So, I don't think people should look at this and go like, oh man, I missed the boat on this. I missed the boat. Friends, listen, people were saying they missed the boat at 130, 140, 150, 160 yesterday, last Friday. And now look at it. Okay. So as Palantir continues to find itself in these staircases of, it pushes into 160, we see it fall back down one stair, down back to maybe 150. Those are going to be key moments when people come in with money and they're going to go, well, I'm going to buy it right now. And then we're going to see it push into these new staircases of where it's going to go into 170, 180 later on. Think where we could be in 30 days by the beginning of October here. Or September, September. So I think these are very real conversations that we need to have here. Sorry, RDD2's texting me. We have to be real with each other. We're here to make money, and I don't know why people would look at this, for one, and bet against it at this point. That those conversations, those thoughts should not even be in your mind. But two, go like, well, you know what? I think I just look for something else. I think I missed the boat here. If I was you as an investor, for someone, time moves fast. I'm going to tell you that right now. It moves fast, especially in the market. If you could allow yourself and be patient enough to at least build up 5 to 10 shares of Palantir before it gets to a $300 to $500 range, that is going to be a great place for you for a long-term position, because as it goes right now, listen, it's only been this short amount of time with Palantir being so aggressively put in where it's at right now, even more so with this administration. It's going to be used more. It's going to be pushed more. We're going to see bigger deals come in here with Palantir. Definitely. And it's going to continue to grow. I don't need to break down a candlestick chart. The focus is not on short term. If we get a little more volume right here at 165, we'll push up within the next 2 trading days to 167. Either way you slice this cake, you're going to get the same thing out of it. You're going to get the flavors, you're going to get the layers, and you're going to get the fulfillment of the cake, because it's going to lead to the same place. It's going to lead to this place of Palantir going to $200 to $300 to $400 to $500. Now, obviously, those are short numbers. I mean, there's people saying a lot more heavier numbers than that, but I think 500 puts us enough into the future here by 2026, somewhere in that realm, where Palantir could go. Now, obviously, I am a different kind of investor. I am a different kind of person when it comes to the market. I believe in mathematically, stock prices, equaling out to, market cap equaling out to share price, to all that. Those are very real things, obviously. And obviously, putting your money in a company that's making money. But two, this is a very unique situation, and situation that a lot of people have not gone through with the company before, because Palantir is moving so aggressively right now. I mean, it is breaking all of these walls that have never really been seen. Buckle up. It's going to get more intense here with Palantir. I'm here to tell you, because I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I might as well go ahead and say it, is that, Trump administration, I don't want to say Trump himself, but Trump administration here is they're still handing out money, and they're still going to be doing it for a while here, with defense contracts. Okay, that is still going on. And I don't know if anybody's watched the news lately, but defense is a very hot topic in the news / the market right now, if you catch what I'm saying here. So this is why a lot of us as investors are so heavy-handed right now. And Apple is a really good company. I would recommend everyone buying Apple. But if you're wanting aggressive stocks right now with aggressive companies that are doing a lot right now, maybe, building up contracts to where the quarterlies within 6 to 8 months are going to be really good, or right now they're doing a lot aggressively with money, deals, all that, then, something like Palantir, something like BigBear, that's why it's getting a lot of attention, okay? Apple, it's found its business model. It's doing great. It's innovating, all that kind of stuff. Yay, good, great, wonderful. Yeah, great company, great stock. But for people that are looking for aggressive movements, really wanting to get somewhere fast in the market, this is why Palantir, people are on to what's going on over here. You can't fool an investor when they see a very unique, ripe situation right in front of them. So, friends, I just want to say congratulations to everybody. I mean, this has been a long road to $1 billion. I mean, God, I've been here, man, it feels like forever. Been sitting here and going like, we're going to $1 billion. We're going to $1 billion. If I could call Alex Karp and talk to him on the phone, I would, I promise. But he's not going to talk to me. Alex, if you're watching, we just want to say congratulations and thank you. We thank you. Keep pushing here. And just being such a goofball, unique CEO, I'm very thankful that he is a CEO that talks to his investors. That is so important. I can't tell you enough. Now, flipping the page in talking about Big Bear, if we can get Kevin to talk here, this will be even better. So Big Bear obviously had a really good day. Big Bear, and I talked about this last night where I was like, kind of where I'm at with Big Bear is that I think Big Bear 2, obviously, we've got quarterlies coming up. Now, quarterlies with Big Bear are going to be something totally different here. Let's just go ahead and, say that out loud. But with what's going on right now with Big Bear is a situation of Palantir having such a good day today. I imagine the rest of the week will be really good with Palantir. Not to mention business is booming in Palantir's kind of sector, defense, the 3-letter WAR word. Big Bear is very much in that conversation too. But Big Bear being so, put side by side with Palantir, kind of with, however you want to slice that up. Big Bear 2 will probably get aggressive this week. The next 2 weeks it'll probably be aggressive. Where do I go here with this conversation? I hate to sound like a broken record a lot of time, but today was today alone was a firm example of the livelihood, the great pulse of what Big Bear can do. I can't tell you how many negative comments I saw over last week where people went, it's a dead stock, it's going back to $3, this guy's a moron, it's going to $2, you're going to lose all your money. And today, we saw Big Bear just go right back up in 730, and actually more than that a little bit, a few more pennies on top of that. But what that's telling us is that there's still a lot of life in Big Bear, 100%. In Big Bear 2, I want to put the line down in the sand right now for people. If you're new, listen to me talk about Big Bear. I want to tell you 100% that with these quarterlies coming out with Big Bear, listen, I'm not expecting them to be great. I'm really not. And honestly, I don't even care. Now with that too, I want them to be good. Obviously I want them to be good. That's the main reason you invest in a company. You want them to come out with quarterlies. You want them to be making money. Of course. But my attention, and I would probably say most of you listen to me yap my gums here, would agree with what I'm about to say, is that we're not so much concerned about what these quarterlies are going to be. They're going to be good. They're going to be close. Okay, that's the main thing. They should be somewhat close, and that's going to be good because of all the deals, all the things that have happened up to this point. Okay, I don't want to talk about it because I've talked about it so much, but if you've been here with me, you've been here. It's been a roller coaster with all this we've went through here, but it's not the quarterlies that are the one quarterly that's coming up here. It's what could happen here from this point, because everything I said about Palantir is very similar in shadows Big Bear right now. With Big Bear, yes, it's a tech stock, it's an AI stock. However you want to slice it up. People get very defensive when I'm not a tech bro. I'm not a tech guy. I'm a moron. I can't slice it up enough for you, but you know what I'm saying here. The main thing is that I don't look at Big Bear as like this company that is coming out with like computer graphics or anything like that. It is essentially right now the bread and butter, the pulse of this company is security, defense. Big Bear essentially their Face ID software that they have. It's heavily used in airports. It's obviously being heavily used with the government. And obviously there's other things it's used for too. But with that, there's all of this room and conversation that we can have here that Big Bear will acquire more government contracts. In the beautiful situation, if you're new to Big Bear here, I want to inform you and I want to let you know on a beautiful secret is that there's been so much work up until this point with Big Bear. There's a reason why Big Bear is so alive still, because since November, that first big government contract, all the way to right now, even last week, getting that partnership with what was it? You know what I'm saying here. I didn't write it down, but it's on here. Yeah, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. We continue to see a slow, steady inflow of deals, partnerships, stuff that at the end of the day is going to bring in revenue. Good, great. That's what we need. I am very much in this realm that Big Bear still 100% can get another government contract, continue into these airline contracts, in that anything from this point forward is going to really seal up the deal of Big Bear holding this $8 high position that we were trying to get back to breaking into double-digit numbers. I don't think it's crazy at all to say that Big Bear can't go to $15 to $20, okay? I don't think that's crazy at all. I think we're but just a flick of a switch there. I think it's just going to take one more little thing to light the fires again to make this raging inferno with Big Bear to where it easily pushes into $10 to $15 to $20. I really don't think it's that crazy of a comment to say. I know, and there's going to be a few people that go like, that's the most ridiculous I've ever heard. I get that 100%, but I think too, some of us that have been here in the market, we've seen crazy things. We've seen things that don't make sense. And that's what I talked about a little bit with Palantir, like, with, market caps to, mathematically to the stock share price, all that. There's one thing that, these firms and all that, they never speak of, and they never really understand when it comes to us, the little guys in the market, whether we have 500 shares of Big Bear, 100 shares, 10 shares, thousands of shares, is that hype, FOMO, volume will always control and make the most money with any stock, 100%. Obviously, I want Big Bear as a company, as a stock, to grow with revenue, to get deals, to really push into, 5 years from now, I hope we're talking about Big Bear hitting $1 billion quarterly. God, that'd be amazing. I mean, that would be insane. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. We've got a lot of room. We've got a lot of work. Big Bear's got a lot of work to do here. That's on them at the end of the day. Us as investors, knowing when to take profit, get in, get out, keep pushing the situation, or just walk away. Right now, I still see a very lively stock. I still see a company that is chipping away at trying to get somewhere. It's in the right place. It's in the right honey hole for fishing. We're just trying to catch that last big fish right now. And that's really what we need to seal up the deal here with, really getting, into a new year here. I want to see Big Bear get more contracts, if not just one big one. My God, imagine if they, like they did in November, if they got one more, like $175 million contract, obviously cut up into, a handful of years here. But still, that would be it, man. That would be it. That would be what we needed. I'm not walking away from Big Bear here. I think Big Bear has all of the potential to really shock a lot of people. I would, even if, the ship sinks here with Big Bear, I'm glad I took the chance. I've made a lot of money off Big Bear, just in certain positions, day trade or swing trading it. But holding two positions that I'm like, if this works, this is going to be crazy. If this works here, if they keep pushing into what they're doing. So, friends, listen, I am excited. I think both these companies have a lot of argument to continue to push into the future. I think we're going to continue to make a lot of money. Please don't look at Palantir and go like, man, I missed the. Don't look at today if you're not a part of Palantir, or if you only have like 1 share, 2 shares. Man, you're in it. That's awesome. Listen, I started in this market with $5, and I blew it the first week. But look at Palantir as think about where this could go. Think about 2 years from now where Palantir could be. I might have a chart on here going like, I think we're about to hit $900 with Palantir. $900. It's a very real possibility. That bill that just got passed, there was $1 trillion of that bill that had security in it. Okay? What do you think that means? that means that money is going to be divided up somewhere with a lot of these companies that we're talking about. I mean, it's essentially it's almost, at least for the last month, it's a hot topic right now too with that, because of what's going on if you're watching the news. But security and defense is being talked about all the time with Trump, the Trump administration. I mean, they are spending all the money and they are spending all the focus on our, AI stocks. Even I watched over the weekend, here I'm talking again. I watched Dan Ives, I watched Tom Lee, a few other big investors, stock analysts talk about, how we just had, if you are an investor in America, you have all the potential to change your life, because we have I think they said we have like 17 or 20, something like that, of the biggest AI companies in the world. Obviously, I mean, America has the biggest innovation companies. We allow them to do it, but we also use them too. So, I mean, this is why, all this is just, it's all meeting together. It's a big pool of just, these tech stocks keep coming out with bigger and bigger and bigger quarterlies. I mean, they're literally saying Nvidia it shouldn't miss a quarterly for like the next decade. That is insane. It's insane. Friends, I'm done. I'm gonna stop yapping. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.